Grace to you and peace from God our Father and our Lord Jesus Christ. This is the first congregation I've been in where we celebrate those who have been baptized along with those that have died. That is a wonderful reminder to us that we are both saint and sinner at the same time, and that God calls us to live lives as saints. We are saints to one another. One is not better than the other. One is not holier than the other. We are all saints. So what does that mean? What does that mean to live a life of being a saint, as saints? This gospel reading is Luke's Sermon on the Plain. It's Luke's version of the Beatitudes, of what it means to be blessed. Happy are those who are not happy. Blessed are those who are poor, who are hungry, who mourn and weep now. Blessed are you, those who are hated, when you are hated and when you are excluded and when you are reviled. Rejoice in that day and leap for joy, for surely your reward is great in heaven. Well, who wants to be poor or hungry or mourning? This word blessed, more than anything, I think, means that God is with us in those difficult times in our lives. We are blessed because God is present to us, bringing to us the kingdom of heaven, filling us with food, touching us and comforting us when we mourn. And there's that other half, or the middle part of those verses. But woe to you who are rich, who have received your consolation. Woe to you who are full. Woe to you who are laughing now, and when others speak well of you. Does that mean that it's really bad if we have those things? No. But the word woe is an alert to us. It tells us that something may be wrong, something may be off, in that those things that the world looks at us and thinks we're blessed, those very things may be getting in the way of a deep, deep relationship with God. Do they always? No. But those who are blessed in their sort of having no power, and those who think they are blessed because they have it, might just be in trouble. Not the first ones. What does that mean for us to live lives in holiness and as being saints to one another? The key is that last verse that I read. And be merciful to God, to one another, as God is merciful to us. To be merciful to others when we are in the positions of power, when we have money, when we have renown, when we are in the positions of being over and above others. Being merciful and loving, being kind and compassionate, and as Nora said, to be kind, to be merciful to others when it's hard to be merciful. when we're in that space of feeling like people hate us or do not listen to us, we are being abused or cursed, these verses are a reminder that these other folks who are abusing their power need to be brought before the love of God. For us to be merciful to them and hold them in prayer and not hold ourselves outside of the blessings of God. So much of our society today tells us that if we are, have achieved a measure of wealth or power or respect, that's somehow something that has to do with our being blessed by God. That's really not what this blessing is talking about, the blessing of God. The blessing of God has nothing to do with power or riches or money or wealth or respect of others. We can earn that or not. Wellness is not a sign that we've done everything right. Sickness is not a sign that we've done something wrong. Our being blessed has to do with our being named and claimed as children of God, precious to God's sight. We are saints and sinners, and we are called to live in mercy to ourselves and to one another. So if there's someone in your life today that really gets under your skin, perhaps someone that you just have a difficult time loving, maybe they've wronged you. What does it mean to be a saint of God in that situation? Does that mean letting that person walk all over you? By no means. Does that mean taking revenge? No. Does that mean holding that person in the same mercy that God holds you? Does that mean looking at that person as God looks at them, in need of God's love and forgiveness? We can't do that alone. It's not easy to do. But God knits us together into the sainthood of God and gives us power to do that through God. Even if it is bringing that person in your mind's eye before God without words and giving that person to God. We celebrate today the saints gone before and the saints to come. And we remember that we are not perfect. Being saints does not mean that we do not have flaws, that we do not make mistakes. But we come together as a people of God and forgive one another, thinking the most highly of others, not putting a spin on things that someone has been intentionally malicious, but maybe they are doing the best that they can. And in a little bit, we will be reading the names of the saints who have died in this last year and the saints who have been baptized in this year. And you also will be invited to come and light a candle and place it into this basin of sand. Notice that this is not a perfect basin. Seeing it from far off, you see that it's beautifully glazed and ornately detailed in gold. When you look closer, you notice that it's cracked and broken, it's been mended. But it is a vessel of beauty. And as you come forward and remember your saint that has died, remember that you too are beautiful and are a saint now, and called to live into what it means to live in compassion and mercy for one another and for yourself. Amen.
comments.